Hey guys, I'm just getting you guys started over here on YouTube, and I'm going to get my Instagram people going, and then we're going to get started with our Q&A hour. Hello. Couple of things. I got a couple of announcements, exciting announcements, things that are coming up, but I'll kind of wait till we get to some people being here. I got some people showing up. So last night, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on while you guys join in, say hello, writing your questions, and I got some fun announcements for you. But last night I went to go see the Mr. Rogers movie that's out now called Won't You Be My Neighbor? And oh my God, I was crying halfway through the movie. Tears started coming. It was such a beautiful movie. And that man was such a beautiful man, like such a sweet, kind man. And I have to tell you guys, I was kind of thinking of you and got new inspiration. I want to be the Mr. Rogers of magic. Because I love you guys so much. Like he was talking about how when he was, doing these shows that he would think of the kids that he was doing the shows for. I think of you guys when I do these live streams. And so won't you be my neighbor? I don't know. I just thought, he's such an inspiration. Oh my gosh, he's such a sweet, sweet soul, such a sweet, kind human, brought love into the world. Love is his whole focus. Love is my whole focus. Like what I want to bring is love into the world and open up love for you guys in all forms and express that love that I have for you guys. So new life goals, #life goals. I want to be Mr. Rogers of magic. Wendy says, I'd be your neighbor. Perfect, Wendy. So I love you guys, and I just felt such a inspiration by him, and I just recommend if you get a chance to see that movie, you can see it, when it comes out on, whatever Amazon or whatever. But if you can see it in the theater, it was just I promise you will have a tear. You will have a tear, not a tear of sadness, but a tear of just being completely moved by what he has to say. And at the end, I'm going to say, he just said this one thing. He had said this one thing, and I want to share it with you guys because it is like such a profound, powerful thing. I'm going to probably misquote it, but he said, take a moment and think of someone that raised you, that loved you, that took care of you and showed you love. There was someone in your life, could be a parent, could be a grandparent, could be a mentor or guide of some kind, but there's someone in your life who really, really loved you and cared for you. And they have all these interviews, and everybody sat and they thought, and you in the audience in the movie theater are thinking of the people who love you. And it was like, oh, the tears started coming. Oh my gosh. Such a beautiful thing to think about. We all have that. We all have someone in our life who really expressed a true, unselfish love for us. And just to think about that ancestor, that person, that parent, that loved one in your life who just truly loves you unconditionally. And there's someone for everyone. So I recommend seeing that movie if you need to clear out your tear ducts. Okay, couple announcements and we'll get to the questions. All right, couple things coming up for you guys. If you are in the LA area, got some exciting news for you. This Thursday, I'm going to be doing an appearance, a very, very special appearance at Stories Bookstore in Echo Park. On Thursday the 19th at 7 p.m., there's a huge, big, big, big party. We are having, I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to do an old-time vaudeville show where I would do something called Euphonious Prognostication, which is audience members come up, I tell a little fortune, it's funny, then we do a song associated with that fortune, old-time music from like jazz and stuff from the 1920s and hokum and jug band, cool, fun music. Normally, I just sort of pull this out and I do it by myself with the ukulele, but this time we're doing the full vaudeville show. I mean, it is the full production. I've got a backing band. I've got John McDuffie and Steve McGallion. They're going to be backing me up. I'll be telling those fun fortunes, doing the euphonious prognostication. We also have Zachary Strange, Zach Dubnoff, is going to be doing old time magic. So a little old time magic show in between. We're going to have a little music, a little magic. We're also going to have Eli Presser, who's an amazing puppeteer. He has this puppet that freaks me out. It's so good, his puppeteering. It looks like a little person. It absolutely looks like a living person. He moves these tiny movements and it just looks so real. So he's going to be doing a puppet show. Zach Dubnoff is going to be doing magic. We're going to be doing our fun, super fun, magical musical review. And on top of that, I'll be doing something afterwards, which is I'll be signing books, copies of my book, Madame Pamita's Magical Tarot. I'll be signing copies there. If you purchase a copy, you come and have me sign it. I'll give you a ticket and you can get a reading from Marcella Kroll. Marcella Kroll is an amazing, super famous reader here in LA. She's a wonderful, dear friend of mine, and she is going to be doing readings for you. So you not only get like a book that I think is going to change your life. That's why I wrote it. But you're going to get a reading to go along with that book, a free reading. So Marcella will be doing readings. It's just going to be an amazing, fun party. I'll be signing books there. If you have a book or if you want to get a book, that's the place to do it. And you can hang out with me. We can chat. I'd love to see you, give you a big hug, all of that. So if you're in the LA area, Thursday, the 19th at Stories Books, and Stories Books is in Echo Park. It's right near the Echo, the club, the Echoplex. It's just a couple doors up from that. You can look it up online. I don't know the address. It's 55 something. I don't know, but it's in Sunset Boulevard in Echo Park. Please, please, please come out. It'll be an amazing, fun party. It'll be fun to hang out with you. I'll be in my full costume. It'll be like an amazing event. So that's one announcement. If you're in the LA area, please, please, please come and see me for that. If you are in New Orleans, I'm going to be coming to Hex Fest on October 10th, 11th, and 12th. So please come to Hex Fest. I'd love to see you. I'm not going to be presenting, but I'm going to be having a booth and we're going to be selling. My friend Chelsea's going to be with me. We're going to be selling. We have a new line of stuff called Magic Everywhere, which is going to be amazing. We'll have some of that stuff. We'll have some of my books for sale. I might have some candles for sale. You can come hang out with me. I can sign a book for you, whatever you want. So if you're in New Orleans, come out and see me at Hex Fest on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of October. Another announcement. I'm traveling all over the world to see you guys. If you are in the Denver area, I'm going to be coming to Denver in November. Denver in November, almost rhymes. The first weekend of November, and we're still firming up the details of it. I'm definitely teaching a class. I'm going to be teaching a class on how to do magic with the tarot, how to take your tarot deck and turn it into a tool for doing magic. So please come to that. And I will be doing live readings on hopefully that Saturday and Sunday. I'll be doing readings and this is going to be at Ritual Craft. You spell Ritual Craft, Ritual, ritual spelled the same way, but craft is spelled Craft, Craft. Yeah, Ritual Craft. So I'll be doing it Ritual Craft in Denver. Come and see me. That's going to be after the Mile High Hoodoo, Mile High Conjure Gala. But it's going to be after that. It's going to be in November. So they do that in October. And what else? Working on getting out to New York. Hasn't happened. Don't have any confirmed details yet, but I'm working on it. Working on coming to New York in the fall, probably September or October. So that's all the tour information, tour schedule information where I'm going to be. But if you're in LA, come and see me. Please come and see me. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun event. And it's free. Oh, by the way, that thing on Thursday, the 19th at Stories Books, 7 p.m. Free, all ages. Come out. It's going to be amazing. It'll be fun. And I would love to see you in person. This is a great opportunity. Okay. So I saw that there were some questions that Wendy jumped in, wants to be my neighbor, and she had a question. And she jumped right in. Kiki said, hi over on YouTube. And Wendy says, how come every time when I think or say something negative, it happens with law of attraction? When I think of something positive, it doesn't happen. All right. Here's how law of attraction works and how your thoughts create things. Nothing that you say as a little blip, a little individual thought is going to manifest. If what you are thinking is generally positive and you have a blip of a negative thought, that blip of a negative thought is not likely, unless it's a real deep-seated belief that's just coming to the surface, is not going to come to be manifested. What does manifest is the beliefs. When we start thinking repetitious thoughts. So your repetitious thoughts, okay, I'm going to think of an example. Let's say someone thinks, there's no good guys out there for me. And you start thinking that thought and you start saying it to your friends and you start thinking it all the time. And every time you meet a guy, you think, there's no good guys out there. And every time you're out in the world or you hear a story from your, no, there's no good. Now that thought that you're thinking over and over and over and over again, you're ingraining into a reality. It's turning into a belief. So that's where you really have to pay attention and watch. It's not the stray thought that creates the reality. It's the belief that creates the reality. So yes, the thought becomes the thing, but it's the belief and the feelings behind it that turn it into something that is problematic. I want to make sure, by the way, before I go any little further, I'm going to do one little technical thing. I want to make sure that on YouTube, you guys are getting better sound, because last week the sound was terrible. And I want to make sure that I've got the good sound going, which is this mic down below. So hold on just a second. Let me get that going. Sound. Are we on the good sound? Yes. Okay, good. All right. I just want to make sure. So it's not the stray thought that's the problem. It's the repetitious thought. So you have to retrain your brain. You have to be in control of your brain. When you have the negative thought, there's no good guys out there. First step is recognizing that you have the negative thought, recognizing that you're having a pattern of belief and that you have a belief about something. I love that example because it's clearly not true. Clearly not true. If you have met every single guy or gal out there, all 3.5 billion, and you've met them all, well then, and they're all terrible, then yes, you can say all guys are terrible. There are no good guys out there. But if you haven't met all of them, which you most likely have not, unless you're, I don't know, even celebrities haven't met everybody. If you haven't met everybody, then you know just logically that can't be true. If there's one good guy, then not all guys are bad, right? So logically, it doesn't make sense. So when you have that thought, there's no good guys out there, you need to stop yourself, reframe that, say, you know what? I'm going to meet my good guy, or there are good men out there. I need to attract those good men, and I'm going to find those good men. Those men are going to come to me, are coming to me, are here. I'm going to have my amazing man. So anything that you can get back to that place of belief. I think people get stuck on this weird thing where they say, and I think this is semantics, just like it's detail that doesn't really apply in my experience. People say, my good guy is coming to me, for example. Well, then you don't want to say that. You want to say, my good guy is here right now. And I think there's some value in saying something that you have something right now. I have my amazing relationship. And I think, we talk about gratitude journal work, that's kind of thing. It's very, very helpful. But if you are saying my good guy is here now, but you're really not feeling it, like because he isn't here right now, then that's not helpful. But if you're feeling the energy of that, you're on the cusp of having that guy in your life, and you're saying he's coming to me, then it's no problem with saying he's coming to me. There's no problem with saying that he's coming my way. I'm going to have this amazing man in my life, or this amazing woman in my life, right? So where you want to get to, the main thing is to get to the place of eager expectation of your good things coming. That's the sweet spot right there. That's the place where you feel a belief. Yes, my good things are coming to me. Yes, I'm going to be successful in my career. Yes, I'm going to have good friends around me. Yes, I'm going to have an amazing experience and whatever it is. And yes, I'm going to have that amazing relationship. You need to get to the feeling and the belief. It needs to be all in alignment right there. That's the thing. So the single thought isn't a problem. It's the beliefs that are a problem. So you want to examine and think about those unicorns that are pulling. We're not pulling horses, pulling our mind. We're having unicorns pull our mind. Think about those unicorns that are pulling your mind. And are you in control of your mind, or is your mind running away like crazy? If you are in control of your mind, if you are thinking, okay, I had a negative thought, I'm going to replace that negative thought with an affirmation, because an affirmation is more powerful than a thought, because it's a thought producing words and you're hearing those words back. So it's 3 times as powerful. Speak the affirmation. My perfect relationship is coming to me in perfect timing. There you go. Yes, the perfect man is out there, or the perfect woman is out there, and they're coming to me, and we are going to be in a relationship. Those are the things that you want to replace those affirmations with, those to break that cycle of the belief, to break that cycle of the negative thought. All right, everybody over here, very patiently waiting on Instagram. Let me go back to you. Hi, Julie. Hi, Jen. Hi, Automatic Paradise and Kimmy and Idris and Rachel. And Julie has a question. Is it necessary to protect yourself before casting a spell? For example, casting a circle or something of the sort, as they do in Wiccan practice. Okay. All different kinds of ways to do spell work. There is no right way or wrong way. It's just your tradition. So in the Wiccan tradition, we cast the circle. I have a podcast, by the way, coming up about that, about casting a circle. And it's going to be coming up soon. I'm working on it right now. New podcast coming out on Monday, by the way, but that's not this one. So when we're talking about casting a circle, just for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, in Wiccan tradition, you cast a circle before you do magic. Now, that circle, I did a lot of research about what that circle is about. Like, why do we cast a circle? Why do we cast a circle? This really goes back to ancient sort of, we can find it in ancient Roman and ancient Greek texts, the idea of casting a circle, but more specifically what we're looking at is in Jewish magic and Christian magic. Surprisingly, in Jewish magic and Christian magic, there was the idea in the sort of the medieval times that that magic was dangerous, that you were, when you're, and there are things like invoking demons that they were talking about, that you would cast a circle to protect yourself when you invoke this demon. So you're asking this demon or this jinn, that's in Islamic magic, is a jinn, like a genie, or in, and the genies and the jinn, when I say jinn, I mean D-G-I-N-N, jinn, not jinn like the drink. Jinn are not like the genie in Aladdin. It's not this happy-go-lucky guy. Jinn are like, you're calling forth the demon. You're calling forth a wild, uncontrollable energy. So anytime you're invoking something wild and uncontrolling, and you're going to go and dominate it and control it, you probably want to have some kind of protection up. And so that, because of that kind of concept, that was where the circle came from, that you would draw a circle, a protective circle of energy around you, so that it would create a barrier between you and this wild, uncontrollable spirit, so that you could control it, but you would have this electric fence around you, let's say. So that's where the idea of drawing a circle came from. Then from that, that was transferred over into Gardnerian magic. Gardner in the 1800s, there was, if you want to get back to like Wiccan tradition, that really doesn't go back. Gardner is in the 1950s. It goes back to the 1800s with like the Golden Dawn and so forth. And then and Gardner really sort of did it in the 1950s, where he sort of codified it. But that's really as far back as these traditions go. Yes, you can find traditions that are older, and that's what he did, was go back to the older traditions. But it's not as if Wicca was a tradition that was in, a pagan tradition that has been around for millennia. It's a relatively new creation based on the little slim pieces of evidence that we find in archaeology, some documents, some texts. There's just so little that's around. If you think about like the Druids who are doing magic, they know very, very, very little about the Druids. So there's no written text. There's only observations that the Romans had about the Druids, who were kind of they dominated and, conquered that country, those countries of France and England and so on. So, so the limited information we have was sort of codified into something in the 1950s by Gardner. So the idea of drawing a circle, it's not as if the oldest texts that we have about drawing a circle go back to that Jewish and Christian magic and Islamic magic, where you're working with spirits and you would draw a circle around you. Okay, so understanding that that's where it came from doesn't mean that it's bad or wrong or that it's not good because it's new. There's definitely historical threads that connect back to ancient times. Like I said, back to, ancient Rome and Greece about drawing a circle, but there is no direct, this is the way it's always been over time. It's just sort of a recreation of that. Neo-paganism, in other words. So knowing that, it's a choice. It's an option. If you are a Wiccan, then drawing a circle, casting a circle is great because it connects you back to your tribe. It connects you back to your faith. It connects you back to your religion. This is something that Wiccans all over the world cast circles. So this is a nice thing to do. It's just like Catholics all over the world might say the rosary or go to mass, or Jewish people all over the world go to temple on Friday nights. It's something that connects you to all of your people, or say prayers, in the home. It's all just connecting you. And if that's the compelling reason to do it, then that's a good reason to do it. If you're working with demonic spirits, I would do some kind of protection work. I don't do that kind of work, so I don't do it. So your mileage may vary if you're doing that kind of stuff. I can't advise you because I don't do that kind of work. Remember, I'm Mr. Rogers of magic, so don't go there. So anyway, doing casting a circle is, if I would say, my advice to you is this, every one of you, if casting a circle, try it. If you like it, if it feels good to you, if you like the ritual of it, if you like the way it feels, if it feels like it starts the process of creating a spell off in a way that sort of is like the prelude to it, you like the sort of the ritualistic nature of it, then by all means do it. If it feels like you're putting protection up because you need protection, then do it. When I do magic, I was a practicing Wiccan. I used to do it. I don't do it anymore because I don't feel like I need it. It's just me. But I don't diminish anybody that chooses to do that. I think it's great. If you light incense around your room before you do magic, that's great. If you do nothing before you do magic, that's great. I'll say for me, I have had no problem without casting a circle. I have maybe my own rituals before doing magic of centering and focusing and doing those sorts of things. And maybe those are good enough for me. Everybody should do what feels good to them. And if it feels good to cast a circle because you feel protected or you feel focused, then do it. If it feels like it connects you to your faith, then do it. Absolutely. But it's an option. It's not a requirement. Anything with magic, like magic is not the purview of just one religion. Magic goes across all religion. And that's one of the things I really, really teach, is that magic is not just Wiccan. Wiccans really have created a great body of work surrounding magic. There's no doubt about that. But magic existed in all religions long before there was a Wiccan religion. And Wiccan religion kind of goes back to some of those old magic and pulls things and reforms them and makes them how to fit into the cosmology of the Wiccan faith. So, and people of no faith do magic too. So if it feels good, do it. That's my advice. All right, let's look over at YouTube. All right, who do we have? Okay, Kiki says hi. Benny says, hi, Pamita, are any spells or tips for depression? Thanks. I have a great podcast episode about this. I did a podcast about, it was in my old version 1.0 of the podcast, and it was about self-confidence. So go back and look. I want to say it may be podcast 12, 14 or 12. It's a podcast that's how do I do magic for self-confidence? And in it, I talk about specifically about any negative entities or vibrations that are attacking you. And sometimes that depression can be something external and you just push it away. You get rid of it. I talk about this thing that if you're generally like a happy person and you start to feel some kind of energy that's external coming on, attaching to you, which could just be stray negativity, then you can do this thing. I always think of it as like being like a mosquito. You swat it away, right? So I will do this thing if I feel like that stray negative thought or stray negativity coming externally, and it's really about sensing where it's coming from. I do this, be gone. And I do that gesture, like you're swatting away bugs, pushing it away. And I say a really forceful, be gone, and get rid of it. Now, if that thing has attached to you and that negativity is attached to you and it's really dragging you down, you might need to do more than that. And of course, first things first, get into therapy. I mean, there's nothing about magic that says you must do only the spiritual work. Do the material world work of having talk therapy or getting antidepressants. Sometimes those can be the solution to your problem. But I also think that it's helpful to spiritually support what you're doing. And so in that case, what I would say is to bring in that spiritual support by doing cleansing baths. I'm very much an advocate of doing cleansing baths. I think baths are one of the most beautiful. I'm a Cancer, so what can I say? I'm a water baby. But baths are very helpful for lifting and uplifting. So I would do, if I were in your shoes, just, in general, and let's say I was feeling some real strong negativity that's attached to me, then I would do a cleansing bath. So cleansing bath, handful of sea salt, handful of Epsom salt. Epsom salt is EPSOM. You get that at the drugstore. Sea salt you can get at the market. And then I would add some oil that it was a cleansing, clearing, uncrossing, jinx killer, van, Hindu grass oil, whatever, to do some cleansing work. In addition, you can add herbs that are there for uplifting and bringing cheerfulness to your bath. So those would be things like cacao beans. Okay, cacao beans are what they make chocolate out of. So cacao beans, these are sell on my website. So if you want cacao beans, you can go to parlorofwonders.com and order them there. Cacao beans, allspice is very good. Clove is good for uplifting. What else would be good for bringing in happiness? Strengthening herbs like bergamot is very good for like making you feel strong again and powerful again. I mean, I think there's a component of depression that makes you feel disempowered, and we want to bring back your power. So there's a beautiful bath that you can do. And I would recommend doing that bath over the course of consecutive days. So you could do 3 consecutive days and see how you feel. If you need more, do 7 consecutive days. If you need more, do 9 consecutive days. If you need more than that, do 11 consecutive days and 13 or 21. You can do it over consecutive days to really support the work that you're doing on the material level. I never, ever suggest that you do spiritual work in lieu of any kind of medical support. Go to your healer, go to your doctor or your acupuncturist or your whatever. Go to your healing people and get some help from them. Go to your therapist, get some help from them. But in addition to that, you can do the spiritual work to address the spiritual element of it. And so I think that would be good. Cacao is like an amazing, amazing bath to really uplift. And I think even just that would be helpful if you did a cacao bath. Okay. All right. Let's look over on Instagram. Hi, Magic Keith and Oregon Woodwitch, Love and Toads and Steph Dorr. Hi. And Lynn. Hi, Lynn. And Charmed One and Vicky Rivera and Mooney and Cody. Hi, Cody. Hopefully you'll get in touch with Marlon and get your book. Awkward Witch, Vicky, Foxy, Foo, and Notorious Muse. Boy, it's all a bunch of people joining. Miss Turkish Beehive, Witch, Leeds Hill. Hi, guys. Creative Libra. Hi. Avon Lady. Hi. Socially Awkward Succubus and Pisces Hippie. Hi. Ornella Cisneros. Judy. Hi. Indigo Queen. Trena Pants. Hi. Leeds Hill. Oh, Leeds Hill. I'm coming to New York in the fall. Madame Annette and Alvin. And Gabby. Oh boy, just a lot of highs. Let's see if we can get down to a question. Oh, here we go. All right. Charmed One. What is something we can do to counteract the negative effects of Mercury retrograde? Well, let's talk about Mercury retrograde. That's a great question. Mercury retrograde is when Mercury appears to be moving backwards in the sky. It's not really moving backwards, but because of the orbit, it appears to be moving backwards when we look at it in the sky. All right. What Mercury retrograde is about it is about revisiting the past. It is not about it. So I think honestly, just my opinion. Let's file this under my opinion. But I think Mercury retrograde stuff has really gotten blown way out of proportion, extremely out of proportion. Oh, it's like cataclysmic now. Oh my God, Mercury retrograde. I don't dare go out of the house, and it really isn't about that. Mercury, any kind of energy can be utilized for something. Like a waning moon is not a good moon to be doing work where you're wanting to push something forward. A waning moon is to clear something away. Great. So we use it in that way. All right. Same thing with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is about things revisiting the past, revisiting old things, fixing old things. So if you need to go back and do a revision on something, if you need to go back to the past and fix something, if you need to go back and redo something that you didn't do right the first time around, then Mercury retrograde is actually super helpful. It is super helpful. What Mercury retrograde is not helpful for is initiation of new projects. It's not helpful you might have glitches with communication. So you might have to go back and redo communication twice. Frustrating, right? But no more than that, right? I sent an email and the person didn't get it. I have to go and write that email again. It's annoying. But your phone breaks. Okay, well, I got to go get my phone fixed finally. But then maybe when you get your phone fixed, you can get that other thing that was kind of janky on your phone fixed too. So it's actually helpful. So Mercury retrograde, it's important, I think, to pay attention to only that you don't want to initiate new things during a retrograde. New contracts, new proposals, new jobs, new relationships. You probably don't want to initiate those things in a Mercury retrograde because you're going to be just more challenged. Not that they're going to be bad, but you might have to go back and do it again. In other words, right? So you don't want to have to do the work twice. So don't do it in Mercury retrograde. Wait till we're out of retrograde. But you can use that energy in a positive way, which is to go back and fix those things that need fixing. You had an argument with a friend, go back and mend the relationship. You did something, but you need to do a revision on it, go back and do the revision on it, right? You need to fix something that isn't working, go back and fix it. It's a good time to do that thing. So the reflecting on the past, looking at what isn't working and fixing it, it's a great time to do that. So I think more than anything, just trying, if possible, not to initiate new things during a Mercury retrograde is the best prescription for that. If you have to do some kind of work around Mercury retrograde, I'm going to be getting in I ordered it, in fact, some Mercury retrograde oil. You can use the Mercury retrograde oil to fix those things that go wrong. If you have a situation where you got in an argument with someone and you need to fix it, or you need to open up a new communication, you can use that Mercury retrograde oil to sort of protect it and fix it. Other than that, I think if you can't wait to do something, then I would do Clarity oil around it, Clarity products. I would do Money Stay With Me, which is like, so your electronics don't break down or your car doesn't break down, but your car usually isn't a Mercury issue. Could be maybe Messenger. But you can put Money Stay With Me oil on your electronics so that they don't break down. You can burn clarity incense. You can use clarity oil. You can put clarity oil on a candle during that time. You could put road opener energy, if not that, something that makes things move forward. So I think that's going to be helpful. But Mercury retrograde oil, which I'll be having soon in the shop, will be great for that. All right. Alexander. Hi, Alexander. Last week I did a quick spell, burning fast luck self-lighting incense with the intention that I'd earn some quick cash. As I went to the grocery store soon after completing the spell, I picked up $10 on the street. Could it be a sign from the universe that the spell is working? Absolutely. Absolutely. When you're working with incense, see, candle work, we wait for the candle to complete. Incense work can be much faster in some ways than candle work because we don't have to wait for it to complete. You burn that incense. Here you're already getting that money. So definitely finding that $10 on the street is the start of that. And so you want to just say like, yes, thank you, universe, for giving me this. Now I want more. I want that money that's coming to me. So I would say that that's a good sign. Great sign. And not only that, it's a really good sign because usually I find pennies on the street and I'm all, thank you for the pennies because that's free money. But you got $10. That's like 1,000 times better than a penny. So, all right. Let's see what we've got over on Instagram. Hi, everybody. Okay. So bees knees. Oh, bees knees. I get it. Haha. I always screw up your names, guys. Just face the facts. I'm going to mangle it if I can. Bees knees. Is it important to cast spells according to the moon phase? It's one way of casting a spell. It's not the only way, but it's one way. So you can do all kinds of ways of casting a spell. And if you want a handy chart on ways that you can use the timing, actually, there's two things you can do. Number one, I have a podcast episode of just about this topic. What day of the week is the best to cast a spell? And I talk about all the different ways that you can do timings. All right. So if you go, I think it's podcast episode 2, go to, if you go to magicandthelawofattraction.com or you go to my website, go under instruction, go to Magic Podcast, you can find it there. Or you can find it on iTunes. And I think it's episode number 2. And it's like, what day is the best day to cast a spell? So moon phases are one way of working with magic and working with getting support for the energy of your spell, right? So if you want to invite money coming to you, you want to do it during a waxing moon. Right now, we just had the new moon and the moon is getting a little bit bigger every day. So the moon is waxing. So that's very helpful. If you want to get rid of something, you wait till after the full moon when the moon is getting smaller and smaller and you do it then. But it's not the only way. There's all kinds of other ways of doing it. You can do it by days of the week. That's another really potent way of doing it. So you can get that support from the day of the week. So if you wanted to do, let's say, for example, a love spell, you could do it on a Friday. Or you wanted to do a spell to control someone, you could do that on a Saturday. Or if you wanted to do a spell for communication, you could do that on a Wednesday. See, these are all different days. So I have a chart up on that on my website under magicandthelawofattraction.com. That shows you all the different ways you can do those timings. There's other things you can do, like time of the day. When the clock hands are moving up the clock, like from 6:30 on to midnight or 6:30 on to noon. 6:30 to 7, 7:30 to 8. When both hands are moving up the clock, you now have that energy of moving up, and that's bringing in. You have energy of moving down. And that's when, let's say, from 12:01 to 12:30, from 1:01 to 1:30, and so on. So you get the energy that the hands are moving up or the hands are moving down on a clock with hands. You can't really do it with a digital clock unless you visualize it, I suppose. But that's another way to do that work. That's another way of working. People like to do that timing thing. I don't get too fussy about the time of the day. It's just, to me, it's a little fussy, but it's a legitimate way of working. So you can also do things like by astrological signs. So you might want to choose, let's say, the sun in a certain sign or the moon in a certain sign. We just had that new moon in Cancer during a Cancer sun. So you had double Cancer energy. So if you wanted to do some work for psychic work, to open up your psychic ability, or you wanted to do let's say something for a pregnancy, because Cancer has a very motherly sort of energy. That could be really great too. So you can look at the qualities of the astrological signs, or if you're astrologically oriented, and look at what's going on in the sky and the chart for the time, and pick a time either by the sun, the moon, or whatever, to pick a time that's astrologically auspicious for doing something. So that's what I would recommend. Those are all kinds of different ways that you can do that. And you can take a look at that, listen to that podcast. Also on my candle how-to guides. So if you go to my site and go to how-to guides, you'll see there's charts for doing moon and doing the days of the week. So that will be helpful. All right. Storm 1402. Hi, Madam Pamita. When it comes to financial work for people, what do you suggest most? If no gree is available, no gree available? I guess you mean a gree like a mojo bag, I'm guessing. Financial work. There's a million things you can do. Millions of things you can do. How do we narrow it down? Well, should I just give you one spell? I'll just give you one that tried and true spell. Here's what I would recommend. Get yourself a figural candle that's in the figure with the gender that you identify with. So if you identify as male, you can use a male candle. If you identify as female, you can get a female candle. Get a candle that represents you, and then get it in green, because green is the color for money. Or you could do yellow. Yellow is also another money color, like gold color. But green is sort of what we traditionally do. At least in hoodoo, it's what's traditionally done, because hoodoo is an African-American tradition, and it's green money in the United States. So green is also growth. And that's a good one too. Get a green candle. Dress it with a prosperity oil, wealthy way oil, money drawing oil, something like that. Some kind of money oil. Fast luck oil is good for money if you want it really fast. Attraction oil is good for drawing in financial abundance. All of those are good. Then dress that candle in an upward motion, putting the oil on the candle. You can sprinkle some herbs around the candle. You could sprinkle blue flag root. You could sprinkle alfalfa. You could sprinkle cinnamon to heat things up and make it come faster. What else would I recommend? Patchouli is good for money. Thyme is good for money. Thyme, the herb, Thyme. Those are all great for bringing in abundance. There's many more herbs for bringing in financial abundance, but those are good ones to start with. And then light that candle on a Thursday or Friday. Thursday if you have a business, Friday if it's just general money work. And burn that candle over 7 days. Every day saying a prayer or an intention. You write a petition paper, stick it underneath the candle, and every day saying a prayer or an intention that you attract financial abundance. Super basic, simple spell, but there's a million of them. You could do a green cat candle. Any candle in green is going to bring a different kind of energy. A green cat candle is going to go out and get your abundance and bring it back to you. A green pyramid candle is going to bring in your steady growth and that steady financial abundance that will last the test of time. A green 7-knob candle, maybe you have 7 wishes about money. A green laughing Buddha candle, because maybe you want to have that money come from a very positive, happy source for you. You want that money to make you happy. Money doesn't always make everybody happy. So if you want to ensure that it's going to be happy, you would use a laughing Buddha candle. But get a green one. A gargoyle candle if you wanted to protect your money. A goddess of Willendorf candle if you want your abundance to be really luxurious and just really have a lot of abundance. What else? Trying to think of, a green lucky clover, 4-leaf clover candle if you want to have good luck endeavors. You're doing something risky and you want to have luck around it. A green treasure chest candle, if you want to open up that pathway to abundance, you want to open up that abundance. I mean, there's just a million different sort of variations on that. And they all have a little slightly different vibe, but they're all about bringing in that abundance. So there you go. All kinds of different candles, all of them come in green, and they're excellent for bringing in this energy of abundance. Use it with those herbs I mentioned. There's plenty of other herbs that are money herbs. You can click on the prosperity herbs and you'll see all the prosperity herbs. Pyrite, you can put pyrite, you can put lodestones, you can put magnetic sand. I mean, like I said, there are an infinite number of money spells that you can do that are going to bring in that abundance. So I just gave you one, but you can do it however you want. This is the thing. You've got a bunch of different ingredients. You can try different ways, see what works, All right. Okay. Let's see what we've got going on Instagram. Hi, everybody. Lucy Chen, Fine Art, is asking, can we cast a candle spell any time of the day or month? Yes, that's a good question, because yes, you can cast a spell anytime. And I always say to you, if you need something now, don't wait till the day of the week or the time of the month or anything like that. If you need it now, do it now. But if you have the option of waiting till an auspicious time, a time that will help push your spell forward, then do that. And you can look at those things that we talked about earlier to help guide you on what to do. Okay. All right, looking over at YouTube, Stephen Seabrook. When I am doing a reading with a client, she raises a question about cold reading as she has doubts about it. How should I handle the situation? Well, let's talk about what cold reading is. So this is a great thing to talk about. It's something I always like to sort of advertise about, because there are people who are unethical readers out there. My style, there's different styles of reading. My style of reading as a reader is to show people paths of opportunities, to show people a roadmap to get what it is that you want. So just like Google Maps or Waze or whatever, if you're driving in LA, you get Waze, and Google Maps is your best friend because you've got lots of traffic here and you want to find the fastest way to get to where you want to go. So you look at those maps and they say, hey, take the freeway, but get off here and take the surface streets over here, and this will get you to your place faster, right? So that's what my style of reading is I am goal oriented with my clients. I like to, I always ask them, what is it that they're trying to attain? What is it that they want to focus on? And we see the roadmap for getting there. Now we're going to see, is that road got a lot of detours and a lot of blocks and a lot of problems, or is that road just a straight shot and everything looks good? That's good to know, because then that can tell us what magical work we need to do to support that outcome. So if it's a straight shot, we can definitely do some spell work for it, but it will be a different kind of spell work if we see lots of roadblocks. We might want to do, let's say, for example, we see a straight open road to financial abundance, because we were just talking about that. Everything looks good. Yeah, we could do a spell just to give it an extra push so that it happens faster, right? But if we see something with a lot of roadblocks and a lot of problems, those things might need to be addressed on the material level, or they might need to be addressed on the spiritual level. Sometimes we see things like, you have to go out and network with other people to find that new job. Or you might need to do some action on some level to get that new job or to get that financial flowing to you. Other times we might see that you don't really need to do much of anything. It's just going to be handed to you. If we see that there's blocks on a spiritual level, either through doing a candle reading or through the card reading, then we might want to do a road opener or uncrossing or some kind of cleansing work. So that's the kind of reading I do, right? Style of reading I do. Some people do something else, which is what Stephen is talking about, which is called cold reading, which isn't really reading at all. Cold reading is coming up with questions or statements that are broad enough but specific enough that you might get a hit and you might blow the client away with your amazing insight. So this is like somebody, you're going into getting a reading and someone says, yes, I see in your in the crystal ball, or I see in the cards that you have there's a scar on your left knee, and you don't have a scar on your left knee, but you're like, my mom has a scar on her left knee, or I have a scar on my left arm. And then when you go home, you're remembering, she saw that I had a scar on my left arm. You're not remembering quite that she was a little bit off, or maybe she hits it. Maybe you do have a scar on your left knee. So that's called cold reading, when they're kind of throwing out these specific but weirdly broad things, and they can twist it around and make it sound like they knew what they were talking about, and so on. So if you have someone that's had an experience with a cold reader, who is just someone who knows this technique, it's kind of a scammy thing. Then you hear my kid playing video games I don't know if you can hear it or not. Anyway, he's being very loud. So if you hear these kind of had these experiences with these kind of scammy readers, then you're going to have people that may be a little nervous or skeptical or whatever, because they've heard about it, or they've experienced it, or they've had somebody use this technique on them, or have heard about it. I mean, for you, Stephen, I would just say that's not my style of reading. It isn't your style of reading. You're not a cold reader. You might want to explain to them what kind of reading, like I just explained the style of reading that I do. And if what they're looking for is that blow you away thing, oh my God, there's some, scar on your knee, then that's not they're not your person. They're not your person. But if you explain to them the kind of reading you do, I think that would be helpful. And the style of reading. And the style of reading I do is showing a roadmap to people's success. That's what I do. And with great results. We're looking at the cards. We're looking to see what guides have to say. We're, talking to your spirit guides and getting that information. So it's always good guidance, positive guidance, helping you get to what you want. So I don't know. So you might want to think about what style of reading you have, and sort of educate your client beforehand, about that style of reading. So, and what cold reading is, learn up about cold reading. I got a book about cold reading because I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to learn more about it. So I got a book to see what those techniques are, not because I was going to use them, because I wanted to know what other people were experiencing and how that happens and how it works. So, you can get educated yourself on it too. All right. So, can you do, Mommy Pickle says, can you do a video on the different ways on how to cut and deal tarot cards? I actually have a little video on that. I was going to do a course, I'm making my online course. I was going to do an online course where you could go and just watch videos and learn. And then as I was getting into it, I was thinking, that's not really going to work, because I want my students to practice with each other. So I made a couple of videos for it. So that's a good idea. I think, Mommy Pickle, I'll put that up as one of my tarot talks. So I have tarot talks over on YouTube. If you go over to my YouTube channel, just go to youtube.com/Madam Pamita, all one word, no space. And you can see the tarot talks. I've got a group of videos called Tarot Talks. I have my podcast up there, and I also have the videos from these videos, the Q&A videos, and I also have my regular hoodoo how-to videos. So I'll go ahead and put that up. I'll just do that, and then you'll see that one, and I'll show you how to do the cutting and all of that different techniques. I think I have that. I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I shot that video, so I'll have to go back in my archive and find it, but I'm pretty sure I have that and I can put it up. All right. So that'll be good. Let's see. We've got Christine Conjure over on YouTube. Oh, by the way, before we get to that, I have another, we're right in the middle of doing our beginning tarot course. Very excited. Super cool class. Amazing students, as they always are. I love my students. They show me and they teach me everything, and we just have such a great time together. Great questions and just sharp as tacks. They're really great group of students. I was going to say great group of kids, but so we have I'm going to be starting another beginning tarot course in the fall. And if you would like to know about that tarot course, please, please, please go over to parlorofwonders.com, go to instruction, go to the Academy of the Magical Arts, and you will see a place to sign up for the free intro. I do a free intro to tarot, and I'm going to do an even better one this time. You can check that out, sign up for it. The only way to get to it is going to be if you sign up for it, because I'm going to give you a link to see it. So if you don't sign up, there won't be anything on YouTube. There won't be anything up. So you have to be able to sign up for that. So go ahead and sign up for the waiting list. It's like the waiting list to find out when that's going to be. And sign up for the waiting list for the beginning tarot course, because I'm going to be doing one in the fall. And I'm thinking, having the thought that I might be doing it on Sunday after the Magic Q&A tea party. Only today it's not tea, it's water. But if you would like to be a part of that and come to learn how to read tarot, you can go from beginning, know nothing, to being a professional reader. I've taken people all the way to being professional readers, so it can happen for you too. So go ahead and sign up for the free thing, and go ahead and sign up for the beginning course if you think you might be interested in doing that beginning course and learning how to really, really, really open up your intuition and be an amazing reader. And it's fun. We always have a good time. Alvin Lowe will testify. He's one of my students. He will testify that we have a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. It's the Mr. Rogers of tarot. Hey, class where you get to be with me, just you and me. It's like a little group, and we have so much fun together. So you can be part of that too. And the next class is going to be in the fall. And it's going to probably be on Sundays. So we know you're at least here for this. It'll probably be at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays, 6 to 7:30. And optionally, the last half hour is question and answers, where you can ask me questions out loud and almost one-on-one, 10 on one, 12 on one. And we can have that time together. So go over there and do it today if you're at all interested. All right. Probably the last question, I've heard that rabbit's foot's carried as an amulet to bring good luck to the wearer. Do you sell rabbit's feet in my store? I don't sell rabbit feet in my store. I don't sell rabbit feet in my store. I don't sell any animal artifacts because I don't think it's wrong to do it, but I just don't feel good about it. I don't know. An intuitive thing it feels a little, there's so many lucky talismans. There's so many good things that don't, hurt an animal. So I just sort of don't do it. But plenty of places you can get a rabbit's foot. So nothing wrong with a rabbit's foot, but I just don't feel good about selling it. It feels a little icky to me because it just sort of gets into all kinds of other stuff that, I don't know. My guides, my intuition telling me don't do it. So I don't. So that's me. Just a couple more minutes. Let's see what we've got. What oils can we use in a prosperity blend? Lucy says, what oils can you use in a prosperity blend? All kinds of oils. We talked about those just a minute ago. Prosperity oil, money drawing oil, or you want to use, what kind of essential oils can you use in a prosperity blend? At that, what you're asking, making your own prosperity blend? Okay. All kinds of different essential oils. If you want to clue, because we don't really have that much time, there's a million of them, go over to my site, go to the herbs section, not the oil section, the herbs section. Click on prosperity herbs. There's a little link at the top that'll say love herbs, prosperity herbs, and so on. Click on prosperity herbs, and you'll get a page that shows you all the herbs that are used for prosperity. Now you can translate that. So if it says patchouli is good for prosperity, then you can use patchouli essential oil for prosperity, right? If it says, for example, cinnamon is good for prosperity, if it says ginger is good, you can use these essential oils. These are all things you can use. Thyme essential oil. What else is coming to mind for prosperity that's an essential oil? I have to go down my brain and think. But you can just look and see what herbs I use, what I define as prosperity herbs, and whichever ones come in as an essential oil, you can use those in a prosperity blend. So there you go. All right, you guys, we're almost out of time. Thank you so much for being here. Won't you be my magical neighbor? I'm going to call you magical neighbors from now on. You're my magical neighbors. Won't you be my magical neighbor? I love you guys so much. I love seeing you here. You don't even know how much. I really do feel like Mr. Rogers of magic. We get to have such a great time together, and I love connecting with you here. I hope to connect with you Thursday at my show in Echo Park at Stories at 7 p.m. Thursday the 19th, or when I come to Denver, or when I come to New York, or which we don't know the date of that yet, or when I come to New Orleans in October. So there are lots of chances for us to get together, and I'd love to give you a hug, say hi, chit chat about magic. So I hope to see you at some of these things that are coming up. And is there anything else I need to tell you about? Oh, I'll be coming out with a newsletter soon. So if you aren't on my newsletter mailing list, go sign up for my newsletter, because I'm going to be working on that hopefully this week. Got some new news to announce, and I want to do that through the newsletter. So be sure to sign up for that. If you do sign up for that, you get a free ebook called 7 Secrets to Supercharge Your Spellwork. And it's a beautiful book, amazing book, gorgeous book. And it's free. It's really $20 if you want to buy it on my site, but you don't have to buy it. You can get it for free if you sign up for my newsletter. So hopefully do that. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye, Instagram people. They're going away. I guess they're going away. I don't know. It says pause. I'm trying to save that Instagram thing. I don't know. Anyway, you guys, you YouTubers, we're here. Thank you so much for joining me. I just so appreciate you being here and being my magical neighbor. I'll see you next week. The following week, I will not be here because I'm going to be going to a 80th birthday party for my friend's mom on the 22nd. Oh, is that next week? Oh, that's next week. All right. So I will not be here on the 22nd. I think I'll let you know. But I'll be here the following week. So if I miss you next week, you'll know why. I'm at a big party, having a good time, celebrating someone turning 80. Nothing wrong with that. And I'll see you the following week then. All right, take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And I hope to see some of you on the 19th. And yeah, I guess we'll see each other. Sign up for the free intro to tarot. Sign up for my newsletter. And hopefully we'll connect at one of these events coming up. All right. Take care. Bye, you guys. Have a beautiful week. Bye.